So a thing happened and I got a little miffed, but it turns out better in the end. Um, I get a lot of complaints about LinkedIn, and one thing I very, very often hear is that people get a lot of spam there, and I can't argue with this, especially not right now. But we get a lot of spam everywhere. Where I live in Tennessee right now, it's spring and we have weather coming through, and I'm willing to bet within the next week or two, I'll probably get calls from the roofing people. Hey, I want us to come out and look at your roof. There's always things that are happening where we're getting phone calls, we're getting emails, and it's kind of irritating. But we can't really let it overrun us, can we? So, what happened the other day, I went to a fabulous, fabulous conference. It was a LinkedIn conference over in the UK, which meant I was up at 4:30 in the morning here to be catching the live stream. And that was great. There was a lot of chatter in a WhatsApp group chat. It was fabulous. I learned a lot of things. That same night, I had book club, and then the next morning, I had to be up early for something. So I was a little bit tired by the end of Friday, and I got a connection request from somebody that I didn't know. They were local-ish and had one common connection. And I thought, sure, why not? It could be somebody needed that's been in one of my programs through SCORE, could be somebody just wanting to connect. Within about 5 minutes, I get a message. This is quick question. Are you currently working with a blank? And do you feel you're blank? Are you giving you blank? And I'm like, blank. Or I'm from Chicago, read between the lines, however you want to get that. Um, when I went back and looked at that particular person's profile, there were a number of things that I noticed. The profile was partially filled out. It was absolutely not complete. There were no recent posts. The most recent post was from 5 months ago. And a lot of people lurk. So, there could be old posts and not a lot of new content. But there's no recent comments. The most recent comment was from over a month ago. So, not active on the platform at all. There were no recommendations at all for them. And then I went through and searched that particular job title in my LinkedIn connections, counting only first connections. I have 25 pages of somebody who does the same thing. So coming at me with me not knowing you, having one common connection and having no information about you, you're really not going to turn me that way. What we really need to do if we're going to be pitching people on LinkedIn is have human conversations with real people. I know that's hard, right? It's not what we think about. And a lot of times people think about posting on LinkedIn, doing comments on LinkedIn, lurking on LinkedIn, but a lot of the magic happens in the direct messages. Now, I will say I got that one message. It kind of sort of ticked me off a little bit on Friday evening, but I had about 20 other messages that day that were of high value. Some were I was introducing people to other people. Some were people were introducing me to other people. Some were a little bit more chatter about the conference the day before that people were just kind of, that was so cool. What did you learn from so and so? What was you? Stuff like that. And just everyday kind of conversations that happen in direct messages. One thing I want to make sure that people absolutely understand is that if your business needs to be on LinkedIn, if you need the valuable connections, the valuable resources, and the referral network and the business, like I and many of my clients have found on LinkedIn, you can't let the spammers get you down. You just sort of have to ignore them unless it's after 2 days of not enough sleep and a little bit too much caffeine. I did want to say if you want a lot more about this story, I will drop in the link if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can reach out and ask, and I'll point it out to the blog post that I did about this. Not really upset anymore, just sort of like amused. And I've got a 6-week LinkedIn course coming up. One of the things I am going to be going through is how to have a strategy built around direct messages. So when you make a connection, you know how you're going to reach out later, how you're going to bring conversation into it. I am not promising you that every single person you connect with on LinkedIn is going to be your next big client. But who knows? Maybe that person, if you ask the right questions in the right way, if you're willing to be useful and help you, they might know the person who might be your next big client. So don't really step on toes or burn bridges because people on LinkedIn are valuable and many, many of them can be helpful if they like you. I'm Mary, LinkedIn speaker, trainer, and consultant, and feel free to find out more about me when you get a chance. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.